For those who don't know me, my name is Meredith Oram. I am a fitness and nutrition consultant at Below the Fork. I am a certified group fitness instructor, a certified health coach to be, and I'm also a digital marketer. I was in the agency world for the better part of a decade, but ultimately decided that corporate America was not for me. So I left mostly to become a stay-at-home mom, but now I have launched my business Below the Fork, and I encourage women to love themselves towards healthy. So today I want to talk about 5 tips why who you choose as your coach matters, and just sort of the thinking process that you should go through when you want to hire someone to help you, whether that be a health coach, a business coach, or really anyone. There's so many resources online, and people whom you can invest in yourself and invest in their business. So this is just sort of the thinking that you should go through. So my 5 tips. First one, aligned demographic. What I mean by that. Who is their target market? Who are they catering to? Even though there's a million of us health coaches, there's a million business coaches, all of us have a niche, or we have a sweet spot, somebody who is we've imagined who our best client is, and they're all different. I have lots of health coaches. I have lots of health coaches whom I'm now friends with, who I look up to, who inspire me every day. I don't feel that we're competitors, because one of the reasons is they have different people that they're trying to attract than I am. We all have a different market that we're targeting. I know that sounds like marketing speak, but to you that matters, because if you don't fall in their target market, you might not get what you're expecting out of their resource. So let's say for a health coach example, what is their program about? What level are they playing on? So for instance, someone I really look up to, I think she's phenomenal. She's a great health coach. She's a great business coach. She, and is very open about this, she caters to people who are already fit. Most of them are also health coaches themselves, or they're personal trainers. They are fit people who are just looking to take it to the next level. That's awesome, but that's not my target market. My target market is someone who has been doing a lot of yo-yo dieting. They're not super unhealthy, but they know that they have steps they need to take to make them feel better and to help their life. So I like to find people who maybe they've just sort of neglected fitness and nutrition over the past couple years. They know they need to get back to it. They just had a baby a year or 2 ago. They know changes that need to be made. They've done it before, and they want to get back to where they were. But they're still more in sort of the beginning, navigating, wanting to educate themselves on coming into a healthy living lifestyle. That's totally different market. So who are you in that spectrum? And that's the first question I think that you need to ask yourself. Just as if you're looking for a business coach, there are so many out there. There are some who cater to the people whose businesses have been running successfully for 5 years, and they're just looking to get to the next level. There's others who they thrive in helping you build your business from the ground up. So that's just as an important thing. So think about who their target market is. And I think that's where Periscope is so wonderful if you're looking for that sort of resource, because we're openly talking about it on here. And you can get a better feel, I think, than in some of the writing on their blog or on Instagram, to better understand who they're looking for. And if you fit that description, then not only will they be a dream coach for you, you'll be a dream client for them too. So you want that match. So number 2, credentials. And this, I'm not going to even state my own opinion on here, because this is what's important to you. Do you want, and I'm kind of going here with a health program again, we'll start with that first. Is it important for you to have your coach have national certifications? Do you want them to be a certified personal trainer, certified health coach, certified fitness professional? Do you even want them to be a registered dietitian? Maybe that's super important to you. Maybe you feel that you need to only work with a registered dietitian, and that might actually make sense if you have underlying health issues. Or maybe you don't care about any of those things, that someone who's affiliated with an MLM company like Advocare or Beachbody, maybe that's good enough because you see you've been successful in that program. So that's where you need to ask yourself that though. Does the credential matter to you? And look into, and you should be researching people anyway, but that's an important question, and determining what is important to you. On the business side of it, it would be, maybe it's important that they have a marketing degree, or that they were in corporate America for, 10, 20 years. Maybe that's important to you. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you're happy with going with the entrepreneur who just like taught themselves as they went and built it from the ground up. Maybe that's good enough. So it's up to you. Figure out what those credentials are important for you when you're looking for a coach. So number one, making sure that demographic is aligned with you. Then you can be the dream coach, and then, or you can be the dream client, and they'll be the dream coach to you, because you guys will have that aligned goals. And then second, figuring out if those credentials are important to you or not. So number three, which I think many people would think this would be number one, but number three, then we're talking, hey Andrea, now we're talking personality and comfort level. So fact of the matter is, you have to like them. You have to like the coach. Plain and simple. They will be all up in your business for weeks. Literally, especially if it's a business coach. But even my health coach, I run online fit camps. Like, I'm contacting you every single day. I'm asking you questions, whether it be on Facebook, or if I'm texting you, or I'm instant messaging you through Facebook. I'm all up in your biz. Like, you gotta like me. There's really no choice, because if you don't like me from the get-go, then we're really gonna have some problems midway through my program, when I, sometimes I have to do some like tough love, and I'm the accountability person. That's part of my job, and it all comes from a place of love, but you have to have that comfort level with me from the beginning. And it's also super important, and this again goes with health coach or business coach. You have to be comfortable with them, because you're revealing a lot of personal information, whether that be your financial situation with your business coach, or whether it be your weight and your, like, so I have a couple clients right now. I've never met them before. I'm friends with them on Facebook now. I see pictures, but like, I don't know what their body type is. They tell me, oh, I'm 5'3", this, that, and the other thing, like I'm imagining in my head. So it's important that they need to share that information with you. So, you just have to have that comfort level. And on the flip side, as coaches, we're, sending feelers out there too, to make sure that we're comfortable working with you, because you're essentially in our lives as well. So just to recap again, aligned demographic, making sure that their target market, that you fit within that target market, because then you'll have the best relationship possible and your goals will align. Number two, decide if credentials matter to you or not. And once you define what those credentials are, make sure that coach meets that. And number three, personality and comfort level. So my next one is the coach interested in your goals? And I think this is super important. The first question you need to ask, especially if it's a like an online fit camp, or a mentorship program, or anything where it's like a larger group situation, what do they actually ask you, like what your expectations and goals are? Is the program customizable? Do they even ask? Exactly. So you need to have that alignment, and don't hesitate to have those questions up front. I think that's important. Actually, I'm going to be honest, when I am talking to a potential client and they say, well, my expectations are this, I'm like, yes, awesome. Found an awesome client. I want someone who is genuinely interested, and they realize that they're investing in themselves, and the people who recognize that they're investing in themselves and that this is truly a commitment, they're like my most successful clients. I love them. But you need to know, like, is that important to you? Or maybe the program isn't customizable, but it doesn't matter to you. So it's just a lot of questions that you need to think to yourself before you invest in yourself and invest in a coach. And again, this fits with both a health coach, business coach, or anything else. And then finally, number five, and this kind of goes with my last point too, about being interested in your goals and whether the program is customizable, is the size of the group. So this is specifically for like online boot camps and the mentorship type programs where it's a group situation. The size of the group, what size do you want? Are you someone who thrives in large numbers and you're like super excited to be with as many people as possible, and it's all positive and you're meeting more friends? Like, there are people who like thrive in those situations. They love the big group, or they feel that because it's a big group, it's not as, the spotlight's not as much on them. Or do you feel more accountable in small groups? So kind of full disclosure right now, I'm running small groups right now, like very small, 5. I'm doing that intentionally, if only for my own sanity, because I feel like I can give the attention necessary. But because it's only 5, I am more in their business than maybe if it was a group of 20. I wouldn't have the time to spend as much individual time and answer those questions right away and respond to texts as quickly as I do and such. So just a question to ask yourself when you're working or looking for a coach: what's important to you? Do you really want that small group feel where you have that accountability, where you have more access to your coach? Or are you cool with the bigger group? Give me the information, get me out, let's do this, like I know what to do. So to recap, online demographic when you're looking for a coach: who is their target market? Do you fit in their target market? Make sure they're on your level, because if they're someone, I use the example, if they're a health coach and they cater to other health coaches and like really fit people and they have this crazy intense program, does that make sense for you? Are you good with that? Or do you want someone who's more into like people who are getting on board with a healthier lifestyle and transitioning in them to like an eat clean lifestyle? Number 2, determine if credentials are important to you or not. Do some research. Do that either way. Research these people and then determine if that's important to you. Do you want them to be that certified ACE, AFA, or NASM professional, or if you're cool with just them, being a Beachbody coach or something? You need to make that decision for yourself. Number 3, personality and comfort level, super important, because they will be all up in your business and you have got to like them. Number 4, are they interested in your goals? Is their program customizable for your needs? And then 5, determine if the size of the group, if it's large or small, what matters to you. So that's my quick scope for today. I hope that was helpful. Just 5 tips on why who you choose as a health coach matters. Question: should coaches be honest with potential clients if they don't feel they are a good fit? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that question, because so far I've been very lucky in everyone that I've talked to. That's why I do the free 20-minute consults on the phone, and I will not work with anyone who's not willing to have that phone call with me, because it's for my own safety, first and foremost. But then it's also, I want them to have a good experience, and I want my program to be right for them. And if it's somebody who's looking for tons of cardio and crazy weightlifting and all that stuff, I'm going to be honest, my program is not right for them. What kinds of questions do you ask them on the consult? Great question. I always ask what their goals are and what are their expectations. That was why, I don't even know who I learned that from, but I'm so glad I learned that early on in my business, because I think it's so important. I need to know where they're coming from. Like what do they want to get out of this? Because that's also an opportunity to determine if there's any red flags there. If someone's calling me and they're like, I need to lose 100 pounds, I will need to know more about their health and information, because if it's too much, I need to give them to a registered dietitian. That's not within my scope of practice. If it's someone who, they need to lose that amount of weight, but they're otherwise like healthy and everything, then I'm probably going to tell them that I can be more effective in a one-on-one consultation versus doing a full fit camp group. I'm also asking them, what are some of my questions I ask? Obviously, I'm answering any of their questions. I'm very clear on what my expectations are. I'm asking them what they've done in the past. And the reason I do that is, like for instance, I just spoke to a girl a couple weeks ago. She's signed up for my next round of Fit Camp, which launches on Monday, April 4th. And she sounds like she's going to be my dream client, because what have you done in the past? Tell me about like your fitness journey. Same story most of us moms have, right? Like, oh, well, I felt really fit in college, like I was good. And then, you know, I started working and started to gain a little bit of weight. And then, you know, then I had a nice period where I'd lost some weight. But then I had my first baby and life got crazy. Like, you know, all of us have this story where life got crazy. And, you know, I just want to get back to my pre-baby type weight. So she's like, I've done it before. Like, I know I could do it again. Like, already has that awesome attitude. You know, and that, you know, I'm like, woohoo! Like, yeah, she's the best because she's done it before. I don't have to like go from scratch. But it's also, you know, and I'm going to be honest here, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but anyone who says, well, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done Jenny Craig, I've done any of those, that's where I'm like, okay, I'm super excited to work with you because you are like my target market, but I know I have to do more work because I have to undo a lot of sort of brainwashing that those types of programs do with the under eating, lower calories, all of that. So it's just as important for me to understand their story as it is for them to have an open, candid conversation with me, because when they know where I'm coming from and how I feel about those programs and know that I will exactly, and I have that conversation all the time with my fit campers, my current group, I had to post, I think it was Monday night, where I'm like, I'm concerned that you guys are under eating. And we need to talk about that because your body will shut down. You will jack your metabolism up. We need to eat. And it's funny because I think most people wouldn't expect that a health coach would have to say that. That would be more like, maybe you shouldn't have eaten that. Like, no. I'm like, guys, eat your food. So, you know, there is some like tough love in there, but I've been hitting the old gym the last 2 months, not losing weight. I know, well, you know, maybe you need to change your diet up a little bit and make sure that you're doing different workouts and such to keep your body on its toes so it doesn't know what to expect so that you don't hit those plateaus. So yeah, so I really, and I'm going to be honest, I always say a 20-minute consult and it ends up being slightly longer. But if I have the time, I like to really talk to them because I'm getting to know their personalities too. And I think the more I get into this, you know, I'm going into round 3 now of my boot camp, and I've learned along the way. I don't think there's any other way I could have prepped myself to do that. I think there are a lot of things where you need to learn as you go, and this running online fit camps was certainly one of them, and just some, I don't know what the word is. Like, I would love, like, if you're a business coach or someone who has information on how to screen clients, I would love to talk to you, because so far I've been very lucky, but I don't think I'll always be that lucky. There will be people. However, that's why it's important to connect and network with other health professionals so that you can, you know, recommend somebody else. So, you know, for instance, the trainer I was saying before, who I really look up to, is Amanda Tress. If I have someone contacting me about my program and they're, you know, like already ripped and like they're just looking to take it to the next level, I'm going to recommend her because she's going to get them to that next level. Whereas, like I said earlier in my broadcast, I'm more catering to people who are like just getting into it. Their goal isn't to be like, you know, super buff. They just want to be healthy. They want to live healthy lives. They want to be confident. They want to make good choices for themselves and their families. So we have 2 different target markets. So that's why not only is it important to have that grouping of other individuals in your network whom you can recommend, but I mean, they're just going to inspire you and lift women up. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I loved all the questions. I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I do not scope on weekends, so I guess I will see you on Monday. And again, my name is Meredith Oram. You can find me below the fork across all channels, and I'd love to talk to you soon. Bye, guys.